Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Danny Gurrola, Pink Barn Stamper, coming to you from my pink barn. Look, I had to be festive for you guys because I'm not going to be live tomorrow, but I've been sporting my green gear all day today just to make sure that I am nice and festive for you all. I have also little Easter ones and Easter like little necklace and all that kind of stuff. So closer towards Easter, I will be wearing my festive Easter gear. But for now, we are all things green. And yeah, I'm going to make sure I don't get pinched tomorrow. I think we are going to be making corned beef sandwiches for tomorrow. My daughter does have a doctor's appointment. I think it's probably around like 1:30, 2 o'clock is her appointment. So we will come home and then we will have our corned beef sandwiches. So we are going to put it in the crock pot tomorrow. Well, actually, I think early in the morning, my husband will go out and put it on the smoker and he will smoke it for a couple of hours. And then towards the end, you put it in the crock pot for a couple of hours and it is nice and juicy and yummy. So we will be having our wonderful St. Patrick's Day meal. So my shirt, if you guys can see this, it says that, what does it say? Did someone say shenanigans? Isn't that funny? I also have, if you can see my pants, they have little, what are they called? These little guys, little leprechauns on them. So even my pants are very festive as well. So I made sure I did all the things. My lights actually light up. My necklace does. Let me see if I can get it to turn on. I think the batteries are about ready to die, but it flashes. So, oh my gosh, you guys. So I have gotten to take a sneak peek of the new upcoming catalog, the summer catalog mini. Holy moly. Oh, so many fun things in it. I was actually making a list. I'm going to be doing a paper share for the upcoming catalog. So I was making my list. I was getting everything prepared so I can get the graphic out to you guys. So you can sign up for my paper share. There's some very wonderful papers in there. And we will also be having a new online exclusives coming in May as well that has some really cool paper too. Luckily, they didn't go overkill with the online exclusives because of the catalog, because that's a lot. But the set that is inside of the online exclusives, I'm in love with. It is definitely one that I'm going to have. So once the new catalog does come out in May, I will be doing a catalog walkthrough. I love the way that they have set up this catalog. So if you guys can remember past catalogs that we had it where it was very organized, where they showed us the stamps, the dies, all the things towards the back of the book. They have started doing that again. So, you know what? We all complained enough. They listened to us complaining and squawking about it that they have now put and organized all the things in the back of the catalog. So I am so thrilled for this. It's going to be so much easier to reference to you guys on where things are, where you can like just flip to the back of the catalog, look what you're looking, see, find what you're looking for and not have to like keep fumbling through the catalog. So super exciting. Lots of new fun things that we're going to get to play with. You guys have already seen or maybe not have seen the new stamp pads, or you've heard me actually talk about the new stamp pads. I will be able to get my hands on those during my pre-order, and so I will be bringing those to share with you guys. I will be getting them in the new in colors. So I think I shared with you guys the new in colors that are going to be, now I don't even know what I did with my little list. I had a list of them. I don't know where it went, but the new in colors that we can get our hands on. There's going to be some new shimmer pins. So if you love Wink of Stella think of Wink of Stella with now some color added to it. That's kind of the new shimmer pins that we are going to be getting in the new in colors. So that's super fun. Lots of exciting things happening. Today we're going to be making some Easter cards because since I'm now going live every other Monday, we are going to be closer and closer to Easter. And I just want to make sure that you guys can make some Easter cards, have some ideas, get your Easter cards made so you can get them in the mail, get them out to your family and friends before the actual holiday. Because I have to look at my calendar, but when is Easter? Easter isn't that crazy? I haven't even I know it's the so I know it's in the beginning of April. So it's April 5th. So yeah, coming very soon. And so I wanted to make sure that we got our Easter cards made so you guys will have some fun cards to send in the mail to people. We have what else do we have? Oh yeah, St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. I already said that. Oh my gosh. So I was watching the news today over on the East Coast, snow. What in the what? Really? You guys are having snowstorms? I don't want to be like that person, but we are sitting here at 85 degrees today. Pretty warm. We are actually supposed to see by the end of this week, we are supposed to see our first 100-degree days. Yuck. Like, I'm not looking forward to it. That means I have to turn the air conditioning on. And that seems just wild crazy to me to have to turn my air conditioning on in March. Like, what? Where the heck are we right now? I don't want snow. I mean, I do love snow, don't get me wrong, but not in March. I would love to be like in the 60s, 70s where we should be for March, but Mother Nature has a different story to tell, and she's going to make sure we're nice and warm. Now, I will tell you guys, my garden is looking beautiful out there. I've already got beans. I set up my trellis over the week. I've already got beans. They're starting to get their little vines on it, so they're going to start going up their trellis. I have my squash. I've got tons of hanging squash baskets. So my zucchini squash will be growing and going over, and I will set up like some trellises for that as well. Cucumbers already trellised, and tomatoes. The tomatoes have already sprouted. I've got peppers out there. I've got basil. I've got what else? Strawberries. My strawberries have actually taken off wild crazy. I think it's because I started this new, what is it? Fertilizer. It is a fish mixed with kelp, kind of a liquid fertilizer that you add to your water when you water. Holy geez, it has made the world of difference on my garden. My garden is loving it. So I'm excited to see with these 100-degree weather days how this garden actually does, and if things don't start wilting because it's just too hot too early for some of these vegetables that I have out there, because typically they're like spring things, and when you hit 100-degree weathers, that's like summer. So your plants are like, wait a minute, where did spring go? Well, here, they're on my head. That's where spring is. Okay, you guys, so I'm going to get you guys flipped around. We are going to get into these fabulous cards today. Can't wait to share these with you guys. I had so much fun creating these. So hold tight. I'm going to get you guys flipped around. We're going to talk a little bit of Stampin' Up! News and then get right down to business. All right, hold tight. So if you guys saw my Sunday video where I did my paper pumpkin, what was it? My paper pumpkin scrapbook page, for some goofy reason, I recorded the whole video, not realizing I had no sound during the whole thing. So that's why I am going to make sure that periodically I'm going to reach over here and I'm just going to click this button. That's why I hear that. So we're going to have to hear me twice every once in a while, but I want to make sure we've got volume and you guys can hear me. So we make sure that we're getting all the things notated that we need to make sure we're talking about here. We have the product of the month for March. This is the Notes of Spring. I actually got this last week in my order. Super cute. This has got 15 stamps in it. And these are the what do they call them? The starts with a D. What do they call it? The two-step distinctive. That's what it is. Where one of the stamp sets looks like it has like a bunch of little dots, but they're actually shadowing. That's for your solid stamp, 2 parts. So you have an outline of the deer here, and then you've got the I guess the full stamp for the inside of the deer. So you don't have to do any kind of coloring or any of that. Your stamps will do that for you. So it looks like the deer, the duck, the little plants, the little bunny. Oh, all of them actually have the two-step stamping. You've got a couple of sentiments here, especially for you. A little note of thanks. Happiest birthday wishes. So the fun thing about these is they are only $5. So once your order hits $75, you can add this on. It's going to ask you, do you want to add on the product of the month? And it's only $5. Grab it. If you're already spending $75, what's another $5, especially for a fabulous, super cute stamp set that actually, as I look at the Easter cards that I've made, you could actually have used some of these elements and just go in with your Happy Easter stamp set or whatever other stamp sets you might have that are kind of pertaining to Easter. These would be super cute because you do have the bunny, you've got some, you know, foliage here, and the little deer, super cute. So again, super fun for $5 for a stamp set. Heck yeah. Win-win. This week, on the 18th, I will be going live for mystery stamping. Mystery stamping is done over on my Facebook private group. It's called Pink Barn Stampers Group. So if you're already following me on my business page on Facebook, go over to my group and ask to join that. There's a couple of questions that you'll need to answer to be able to get into that group. And it's just to try to keep our group as safe as possible. So there's just, like I said, a few questions there. Sorry, I had to move the curtain on my window. It was making a really bad glare. It's hitting the window off of the RV out there. So mystery stamping is fun. We are going to create a card together. I have already posted the supplies that you're going to need. You can find that also, if you're not part of the group yet, you can find that over on my blog, pinkbarnstamper.com. Go to the right-hand column, and in categories, go down to mystery stamping, click mystery stamping, and it'll take you in there, and you can see all the things that you're going to need to get ready for mystery stamping. You do have a full week to get your card made. All you'd have to do is go back and watch the replay of the video that I do on Wednesday. And then you just take a snapshot with your phone or however you take pictures and post them over to Facebook. Then you're going to post that to the Pink Barn Stampers group. And I put everybody's name in a drawing. And then on the 25th, I will be drawing a lucky winner and you will get some kind of prize from me. So moving on, we have a new paper pumpkin that has now just been released. This is a new quarter now. So we've got 3 new paper pumpkins for the quarter. If, like I said, if you are over on my Facebook, you can see the 3 sneak peeks that I've shared with you guys along with the add-on that we have right now. This is called the Wonderful Scenes Dies. That this coordinates with the 3 paper pumpkins of the quarter. Lakeside Retreat. Oh my gosh, I saw this graphic and I was instantly sold. I was like, yep, I love it already. And then I was reading up here, coordinates with the Waterside Retreat Suite Collection. So I was like, ding, 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 there goes that light bulb in your brain that they're going to be coming out with a full suite collection, which there was a sneak peek of that at the on stage this last week. They shared the Waterslide Retreat Suite Collection. I knew it already had to be on my list. So this pumpkin paper pumpkin will coordinate with that. And it looks like these are probably the card bases, and maybe these are some of the elements that are going to be in there. I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm seeing out of that. I look at this stamp right here, and it's not in the stamp set, the relaxing water side. So my assumption is that this has got to be one of the stamps that are going to be in this kit. So super, super fun. This kit is going to make 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes. It's going to come with your pre-cut pieces, which again, that's what I'm assuming these are, and some enamel pebbles for your embellishments. Stamp set tailored to male recipients. So perfect timing for our Father's Day cards coming up. It says, show your appreciation for the men in your life with cards inspired by tranquil waterside scenes. So this kit is called Lakeside Retreat. You will find all the things all about Paper Pumpkin if you visit my store, shopdannygurrola.com, and just look for the little red icon that says Paper Pumpkin, and you can go in and see whether or not you want to do month to month. If you want to buy a prepaid Paper Pumpkin subscription, there's plenty of different ways to get your hands on that kit. And then the Wonderful Scenes dies. It looks like there's the word wonderful, and I love these dies with the words in them. It says this one coordinates with May. It looks like a firework. I'm assuming you could probably use this for 4th of July as well. So multi-purpose, I love that. June, it says, goes with the little butterflies, and April goes with the little sign. So super, super fun. Can't wait. So yeah, the sign's going to go with the Lakeside Retreat. Okay, let's get this put away. Let's move everything out of the way. And we're going to get down to business. Hopefully that's covering that light over there. I know there's a light right in the center, but as I work, hopefully that will cover the big light that's up on the ceiling. Let's see if I can move this light out of the way, kind of get that where it's more centered on that. This is the set that we're going to be using today. This does come in a full suite collection. This is called the Easter Joy Suite Collection. Now, when I say suite collection, that means it just comes with all the things on this page. So instead of ordering things separately, you can go and buy the suite collection with just one code, the 166954. And then that just adds all the product right into your shopping cart, and then you can just buy it all at once. Otherwise, you can pick and choose, kind of like the a la carte way of getting it. So we're going to be playing with the paper. That's the Easter Joy Designer Series paper. Now, this is a specialty paper because it does have some foiling going on in it. Let me see if I can zoom you guys down just a skosh. I feel like I'm very much zoomed out there. I also have the little embellishments, so I'll be showing those in a little bit closer detail because there is a super cute little egg in there. The dies, the stamps. I didn't get the ribbon, and I didn't get the Pleasant Patterns specialty paper. I was just kind of so in awe over the Easter Joy paper that I didn't get that along with it. But this is a 4-page spread in the spring catalog. So there's lots of ideas in here. The paper does have backgrounds. I'll show that to you when we get rolling here. So really cute little ideas in here. Look at this little basket that they made to hold on to some jelly beans and a little chocolate bunny there. So really fun. Okay, let me share with you guys the cards that we're going to be creating today. Okay, so this one here. Now I have changed colors on the cards that we're going to be making from the ones that my samples that I used. But this one here is actually like a little bookmark or a tag, comes out of the center of this and then slides back in there. And then you have your card that opens. And then this one here is using crumb cake. Happy Easter. Now, I don't know if I'm going to do this in the card that I'm going to share with you. I had this extra card base and I was like, yep, that's going to work. So I may not do it like that just because I don't like the way it sits. It's not sitting very well. And this is one of the, like I said, with one of the papers, you actually have little backgrounds. This is actually one of the background papers that I used on that. But that one's super cute. And then this one is our fun fold. So it lays like this. If we want to put it inside of an envelope, but then when they pull it out of the envelope, it does that. So this is more of like a, what would we call that? Not a traditional Easter, but a more biblical Easter, I guess you would say. Um, very, very cute. So it would be on display just like that. Isn't that so cool? Oh, I love how that turned out. Again, I'm going to be using different papers, but that is the cards that we're going to be creating today. So let me grab all the stuff that I need. Let me get my cards out. So when you shop with me in the next 2 weeks, I will be sending you a PDF to create these cards. The stamp set is Easter basket and the dies are the Easter basket dies. Stamp set comes with 12 stamps and the dies come with 15 dies. All right, let's see who is in here visiting with me today. Let me go back up here. We have Miss Nancy. Oh, I'm glad that you got your card kit, Nancy. Do enjoy those cards. They are super fun. Hello, Kay. Hello, Debbie. Oh, from a very snowy Wisconsin. Ah, yeah. Kay said 23 inches. Yikes. T-shirt weather in Oregon, where Frida is. Yeah, 25 inches in central Wisconsin. Yikes. And my leader with Stampin' Up, she lives in Wisconsin. And I know they were just over in Long Beach, California during the on stage. So I'm sure that's quite a big shock going from the Long Beach, California weather going back home to feet of snow. Hello, Miss Kimberly. Just drove home in the snow from a toy make and take with my daughter. Oh, how fun! Super fun. Oh yeah, it's a dog treat. I gotta take this necklace off. It's making too much noise. It's clicking together over here and it's gonna drive me nuts. And if it's gonna drive me nuts, it's gonna drive you guys nuts. Yes, I am all decked out. Tired of the snow, but better than tornadoes. Yes, 100%. I agree right there wholeheartedly. Yeah, I could not deal with the tornadoes, but definitely could deal with snow. At least the snow's not going to take my house away somewhere else. 70 degrees where Frida is in Oregon. Okay, so let me set that aside. We are going to get started with that little tag / bookmark card. We're going to do that one first. So let me get all the pieces. I actually need to put my hair up because my hair is going to bug. And my daughter has her second appointment with the surgeon, her spinal fusion, her orthopedic surgeon tomorrow. So he'll probably run some more x-rays. Not sure if he's going to or not, but I'm assuming he probably will, just to make sure that everything still is looking good inside of her back. So yeah, that's always nice when we go see him. And especially we've got tons of questions. I've been writing questions down for him on things that, should it look like this? Should she be like this? Should she be like that? You know, as being a parent, you always, when things always kind of questionable, you always want to ask the doc, the specialist. So our card base is Balmy Blue. This is 11 by 4 1/4. We're going to score this at 5 1/2. I go ahead and fold that and give that a good crease. Okay, we've got some pieces here that I'm just going to set aside. I guess I've got lots of pieces. The next piece that we're going to lay down is 4 by 5 1/4. This is Shy Shamrock fitting for the day. A piece of white, basic white, which is 3 3/4 by 5. I need to stick something right there over that light. It's going to bug me. We've got those little pieces, but we're going to wait on that. I don't know why I have both of these sitting here. I think I was going to do this with this. Or no, I think I was going to do that with it. Nope, I'm going to do this one. Okay, so the way I did this is I have cut my paper down to, this is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 square. I also took a piece of balmy blue and cut it at 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then I just go ahead and cut it on the diagonal. So you'll be able to make 2 cards from your layers. And then there's different papers here. That's why I have this one out here. That's actually the one that I used from there. That's where that came from. So we're going to come up here and we're going to take our white piece. Now what we're going to do with this is going to go to the very edge. And so the reason why you want your squares to be 3 3/4 is because it's the same width of this. So it's going to fit right over that bottom seam and up just a hair. And then it's going to, you're going to take your next piece. And so both of them are going to lay over each other perfectly to create that little pocket inside of there. Okay. So let's take, and what you want to do is you want to, when you line up your glue, you only want to do a bead of glue down the very edge. Because again, we want to leave the inside open to be able to tuck our stuff down inside of there. So I'm just going to take just a little thin line of glue. You could use a tape runner if you want to. Okay, so this piece, the blue is going to go first. Just like so. Whoops. Oh, you're welcome, Linda. I'm glad you got your birthday card. Thanks for letting me know. Okay, and then that piece is going to go like that. So we're just going to come down the side here. And then holding this, I'm going to line up the bottom. And then go right at that side. And because that the back of this is our foil side, it's a little bit shiny on that side. So you really want to make sure that you let that adhere down so it doesn't slip and slide on there, because it is a shiny kind of texture, to make sure you get a really good adhesion on there so your paper doesn't lift. And then I just like to kind of come in here and just kind of pull a little bit to give that some like extra space in there, so we will be able to fit our little bookmark mark slash tag in there. But then you have another piece, and you'll have another piece from your balmy blue that you can go ahead and duplicate this and make another card. All right, so let's go ahead and get these put together first. So our Shy Shamrock is just going to go right down. Like that. And then we're going to grab our pocket. Winter is back in Georgia. Linda says it is 28 for the lows tonight. Eek. Yikers. Yeah, every night I've been going out and enjoying being out in the hot tub, and I actually get a little bit too warm. I had to turn the temperature down on the hot tub. Normally we have it set to the max, which is 104 degrees inside of the hot tub. And then since it's been very warm here, I had to actually turn it down to 102 because you literally feel like your skin is going to melt off of your body when it is that warm. Okay, so there is that. Now I have a piece of balmy blue. This is going to be my tag background, and that is a 2¼ by 3¾ so I need to cut my white piece down. I need to cut this to 2 by 3½. And this is what we're going to do some stamping on. So let me bring all my stamps over. There. I also brought in the Stylish Shapes dies, and I'll show you the pieces that I use, the dies that I use to cut my sentiment piece here. But for now, we need to grab our cute little bunny. Isn't it so cute? So I'm using this one right here. And I need to grab my memento. And I'm going to stamp that about right like so. Okay. I'm going to color this little bunny in crumb cake. And I need to use this little scrap from that. I also need to stamp the carrot. Okay. I'm gonna use that's petal pink. I'm gonna use the light peach pie with my light pumpkin pie for my carrot, and then I'm gonna use Shy Shamrock for the leaves. So I'm gonna use the light Shy Shamrock, or not the leaves, but the greenery coming out of the carrot. So just like that, and then let's grab the pumpkin. I'm going to darken. Actually, I'm going to use the dark pumpkin. Yep, that's better. Dark pumpkin with light peach pie. then use crumb cake on this little cutie. So I'm going to take the dark and come in here and do a little bit of shadowing under his arms, down by his leg and his belly here, a bit underneath his lips, his ear. So that was with the dark. Then I'll bring in the light. Okay, I'm going to do the ears with the white crumb cake. Then with the, did I go the dark? The dark petal pink. I'm going to come in here and do the insides of the ear and his widow nose. And I'm going to do the cheekies. Here we go. So sweet. Oh, I love it. Then I'm going to take the Sentiment Hello Spring. I'm going to stamp this right below him. And then we can close that out for now. I'm going to grab my crocodile and set it over here because when we adhere those, I want to poke the hole up there. But I'm going to die cut the little carrot out here. Okay, on a scrap piece of Shy Shamrock, I am going to cut out, while I'm doing some cutting, I would be cutting out my thin banner for the Shy Shamrock piece, and then another scrap of white. I would be using the shorter, thicker one, and that's going to be for my Sentiment. Okay, let me cut the carrot out. So generally you could cut all of those at the same time. I just went ahead and cut those for us. Okay, there's my super cute little carrot. All right, so let's adhere this, and then we'll get that hole punched. I also need a base for the inside of my card, which is again a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of white. Okay, let's put this little carrot on there. So see how those little cheekies, when you do the pink over top of the crumb cake, it lightens it up and adds those little cheeky marks on there. I just think it gives it so much little character there. All right, I am going to stamp the sentiment. Easter's on its way. I'm going to put that in this little white banner. I'm just going to stamp that in black. All right, so now let's take, and I'm going to use, there's on the crocodile, there's 2 different size holes here. I'm going to go with the larger side, and I'm just going to eyeball the center here. You can use any kind of little hole punch. This is just what I have in my craft room, and that looks perfect. Then I decided to go ahead and bring in my Shy Shamrock ribbon here. I'm just going to cut a piece off. I know that's way too long, but I can cut it down. So I'm going to push that through. Maybe. There we go. And then pull my ends up. Just going to give that a little bit of a wiggle down there. Come up here, cut that, cut that. Then, because I colored him in crumb cake, I want to take a small bit of the linen thread and add a little small bow over top of this. This would be really cute if you've got little ones who like to read books. This could be a really cute little bookmark to give them. And then just kind of angle that down how you want it. And kind of fluff out your bow. That was the linen thread. And then that tucks right down inside. So when they pull that up, they will see the super cute little bunny. Here's the other one that I did. Holding his little carrot. But we need to add a little tag on the front of this, a little sentiment. So I'm just putting a little bit of glue in the center of the Shy Shamrock longer banner, and then just placing the white one right over top there. Give that a second to dry. Hello, Melanie. Hello, Danny. It might have been that if you weren't signed in and it needed you to sign in, that's sometimes why it won't let you write. I know there's been other people that have kind of had problems with YouTube not letting them sign in. I don't know what the deal is, but you're here now, so we'll take it. All right, I'm just going to put some dimensionals on the back of our sentiment tag and then place this right in the center here. Isn't that so cute? Oh, love it. So there you have two different like variants of that to see what you like better. Now, for this balmy blue, I actually took some white ribbon. This was the just white ribbon, I guess is what it's called. And I took my balmy blue Stampin' Blends and I just colored that the color that I needed for that. So if you don't have the right color ribbon, just know that you can take white and color it with your Stampin' Blends, because since those are alcohol ink, they dry awfully quickly and you can have colored ribbon to match all your stuff, because we like to have matchy matchy. Now, I think I might, before we do the inside, I think those little eggs might be cute up there. I know they're not the same color. The balmy blue, I think, is just going to have to work. I would have liked to had some shy shamrock, but I don't. So I'm sure I have them somewhere, but these are going to work for now, so I can show off these little cute embellishments. Those are called the Easter assortments. So I like just those three up there. Let's do the inside. I'm going to go ahead and take that same little bunny. And I'm just going to take her peeking in right over the edge there. And do my Happy Easter. Close this up. And to add a little bit of color, I'm going to come in here and just give my little bunny oops, I grabbed the wrong color. That's why that looked funny. I need white. That's what's so nice about our blender pens is you can just blend it right over the top. Dark petal pink to come in here and just give his nose and the ears just a little bit more color in there. And then we can add this right inside of our card. voila. I mean, you could even go as far if you wanted to go a little bit, you know, step it up just a hair. You could take one of your embossing folders and emboss your plain balmy blue on this side. But I think that's just so cute because it shows off this paper. And again, you can use whatever side of the paper you wanted to use. Let me show you some of the different foils that I was talking about in this. And then a couple of those in this paper. You also get a big sheet. I think it would probably be easier if I just show you the full sheet of that. Let me take these out of here. So I don't know if you can see it, but when I move this paper around, see how there's some shimmer on that? It's got some foiling on some of those flowers that just make it pop when you look at that. The eggs do the same thing. Little stripes on the orange egg has some of that foiling along with the yellow one, and what's the other one that I saw? Some little polka dots in the green and the pink. Very cool. This one, the little flowers here in the Shy Shamrock pop with that. The stripes, we have a foil stripe in that. This one is the one that I used on that other card. And then this was the one that I was talking about, is where it comes with the 6 different backgrounds already, and all you have to do is cut them apart. I'm going to actually use the pink one since my sample I used the blue one and the other one. There's ones that go landscape, so that you can just do a little like scene in here with your bunnies hopping, or you know, you've got this little cute chickie that you could pop up in there. You've got dies that create these actual tulip flowers, which one of the cards I'll be showing that to you. Look at this, where you could put the bunny pushing his little carrots. There's another landscape one. So super fun paper. And the back of these all have some neat designs as well. They're just more muted. So here's the back of that one. Here's this. You've got some good crumb cake ones. So yeah, these are great. This is a great pack of paper. Then we also have the other paper, specialty paper that goes along with this as well. But like I said, I didn't get that other one. So there is our first card for tonight. Super cute. Okay, let me come over here and grab card number 2. So card number 2 is using a base of crumb cake. This is 8.5 by 5.5, and I'm going to score this at 4.25. Okay, there is that piece that I was telling you that I'm going to be using on that. In my sample, I used blue, the blue one, but I wanted to do the pink one tonight. So I need to, so this is cut at 6 because when you cut that designer series paper, you cut 6 to make it in half. So I need to cut this down to 5.25 because my base is 5.5. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go a quarter at a time here. So I'm going to do a quarter off that side. And a quarter off this side. And then I have a piece to put on my inside of my card. And then I'm just going to go 1/8 now off of each side. To give me my 5 1/4. There we go. I could have done it all at once, but my brain just works better this way. Okay, that is then gonna go on my card just like that. And you can see there's some little crumb cake flowers in there. So it really goes good with that crumb cake paper. So that I'm going to set aside. I need a scrap piece of pecan pie. Now, when you cut this, you're going to get a bunch of them. That's why I have the leftover ones. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of pecan pie and you're going to put this little stripy looking die on that. When you cut it out, you're going to get all these little stripy pieces. Now, I only need 3 for my basket. And I'll show you how we weave this in. So I've already die cut that part of it. But I have a scrap piece of crumb cake. I'm going to die cut my basket here. I don't need blue. I need a piece of pretty and pink. So here's my basket. Now for my pink piece, I'm going to use the little bow, and I need this little scalloped edging. That's going to be the little edge of my basket. And I think that's all I need on the pink for those 2 elements. So here's my little bow. And your take your pick tool is going to be your friend if these little pieces get stuck in, because every one of your dies has these little holes in it. And so when you poke that, then you can just get your little pieces out there. Now, what else do I need? I need to do some stamping on both of these. And so let me grab my little, where did I put it? There it is. So bringing in my black Memento, because remember we have to use Memento ink when we are going to be using our Stampin' Blends, because Memento ink will not run like most black archival inks will. Memento is meant to work with your alcohol inks if you have your Stampin' Blends. Okay, so I need the little chocolate bunny. That's what I was looking for. So I'm going to let my early espresso do the work here, so I don't need to color them in. I'm just going to stamp right on there, and it gives me my chocolate bunny. So that will be die cut, and then I need to take this bunny right here with his weird little floppy ears. It's got cute ears. Let's do this down here. I'm using the same scrap that I used for my sample. Why not? Okay, there's that. And then let's bring this over here so we can see what we're doing. I need to stamp the little flowers. So there's like a little trio of flowers here. do we have? Oh, the carrot again. We need to stamp the little carrot. There's our carrot. Okay, that looks like all of our elements. And then I have another little scrap. Where's that? I have another little scrap here that we're going to use for the grass. So let me set that aside. Now with the grass, what I've done for this is I grab my Shy Shamrock and I grab my, where did I put it? My Wink of Stella. I don't need this one though. That's the gold one. I don't know where that one came from. I need the clear one. Oops, let me squeeze that just a little bit more there. So when you squeeze your ink pads, it will transfer ink to your lid. We want that. So don't think that that's a bad thing. So then I'm going to take my Wink of Stella and put some of that in there. And then just on my paper, I'm just going to come in here and squeeze some of that Wink. My pen is about shot. I just bought a new one. I'm just going to transfer, and I'm not being tidy about it. I'm just transferring ink to paper. And then this gives me a little bit of shimmer with that Wink of Stella. I'm just doing a small little portion here because I'm just going to use that brass die. Okay, I think that's long enough. Okay, and just pop that shut and you're good to go with that. So on this one, I have this little grass die that all I need to do is just run that through just like so. And it leaves you with a very cool grass look that gives you those different dimensions in color. Like real grass, when you look at it, you see the different shades of green. And that's why I say you kind of want to be sloppy when you're doing it. But I like it with the Wink of Stella because it just gives it a little hint of shimmer in there. So see how it has the different tones in there? Like it's been water painted, which kind of sort of has, but it just has some shimmer to it as well because it's been winked. So I just like that look. So that's what I'm going for with the grass. Now, what I need to do with these is grab, let's not lose our little pieces right here. I'm trying to keep that glare off of there. We're gonna grab the peach pie and my pumpkin again. So with pumpkin, oops, I grabbed the wrong one again. Dang it, I need the dark. Dark for that. I need light Shy Shamrock. Peach pie. Now with my peach pie, I'm going to come in here and color my flower with peach pie. The next one, I'm going to take pumpkin and color it. And then I'm just going to color in the center of that one. So I've got a white flower with that inside to it. Now on my little bunny here, I'm going to leave it I'm going to leave it white and then just come in and add some cheekies and the insides of its ears. And its little tiny nose. And you could do his tail, but you're not going to see that anyways because it's going to be tucked back underneath the little basket. I forgot to do the leaves on these little flowers. Okay. All right, now we're going to cut those out. Let me move this out of the way here. I need that to die cut. So let's grab some dies. Do our rabbit. I'm just using low tack tape to hold that down. I'm going to get these aligned over here so I can try to cut as many as one time as possible. So I'm going to set that there. Okay, let's grab our rabbit. Our carrot. And then our flowers. Okay, I'm going to set that on there, and we're going to go ahead and cut all of those. One and done. Okay. There are all of our pieces. Our bunny. There's our carrot. There's our other little bunny. And then our flowers. Okay, so there's all of our elements. Now, what I need to do for my basket is grab all those little pecan pieces. Now, like I said, I'm only going to use 3 of them. And so if you ever remember, if you were ever like in Girl Scouts or you took any kind of camp, school trip or whatever, maybe I'm aging myself because I don't think they do that anymore in school, but we went on like a field trip, not a field trip, it was a camp when I was in, what grade was I in? Like 7th grade. It was their end of the school year camp, and we had a blast. We went to one of the lakes up in Oregon. I think it was called Clear Lake, and absolutely beautiful. There's this big like tree, petrified tree on the bottom of this lake, but the lake is crystal clear. Like you can see to the very bottom of the lake. It is such a beautiful sight. And our school took us on a camp trip there. I think we were there for like 3 or 4 nights, maybe, or maybe it was 3 nights. And we had a literal blast. They taught us how to make self-sufficient like little camp stoves that we had to cook our own food on. They kind of just taught us wilderness skills. And so we each got a like a little coffee can and a like tuna fish can, and we made our own candle to put in underneath our coffee can to heat up the top of the coffee can so we could cook our egg on it. Like it was really cool. They really taught us some good skills back in the day. Definitely not like what they teach kids nowadays. There's no life skills nowadays, but back then they did. So we had to make our own little candle. We had to like melt the candle wax into. We had to take some cardboard and roll it around inside of our tuna can and put a little wick in there and fill it with wax. And we sat that because then we had to take holes and punch into the outsides of our coffee can. So the surface would get hot, the bottom of the metal part of the coffee can. Back in the day when we had solid metal coffee cans, I think coffee cans nowadays are made of like cardboard around the edge, but the bottom is still metal. It would still would probably catch on fire, but yeah, very cool little things that they taught us. But um, it was just really neat to go do stuff like that. And we got to weave. They were showing us how to take, what was it, some kind of like pine, I don't know, maybe it wasn't a pine, I don't know, some kind of greenery. We made our own little headdress, like things by weaving. It was super fun. But that's kind of the same thing you do with this, is you're just going to weave back and forth. Time consuming, yes, but oh, so cute when you get done with this. Come on, thing. Okay, and then I'm just gonna pull that down to the center. Now you can make these as tight as you want them in there. Um, I'm only doing 3, so I'm not making them super tight. Outdoor school, that's right. That's exactly what it was. See, I'm glad some of you guys know what I'm talking about. Yes, Kelly is my leader. Okay, now I'm going to cut off that. And then I'm going to do just one more. And it was such outdoor school. Like they taught you skills, how to be self-sufficient if something was to ever go wrong and you needed to have like life-sustaining skills. They taught us, we went on hikes up this really, really crazy mountain. I don't remember where the mountain was. I mean, I was in Bend when I went to school, so this was more central Oregon. Okay, we're almost done. I feel like you guys are sitting there going, da, na, 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 na. Am I boring you yet? But then I remember back when I was in school, we also had cooking and we had sewing class and we had to take like wood shop or mechanics. So things have definitely changed. All right, so I still have 2 of those left. I'm going to go ahead and set those aside because I can use those for another basket. But that is what that little weave looks like. It makes this basket look so realistic. So cute. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and adhere this onto my card base. Oh my gosh, my dad's outside and he's sneezing his head off. Oh my Lord. Okay, there's that. I'm also going to I needed a white strap. I just ordered the this is the 3 banner punch. And I just want this top small banner up here. This makes life so easy. Bada bing. Hey, can't get any easier than that. I'm gonna grab the Hello Spring. And I need I don't need that. I need Pretty and Pink. And my Hello Spring. I need to clean my Hello Spring because I did use that in black already. So I don't want to take black ink into my Pretty and Pink. Pretty and Pink. I was actually just watching that movie the other day. Pretty in Pink and 16 Candles. Oh, love those movies. And no, it doesn't just have to do with the name, but yes, and How to Play in Fire. Okay, maybe it wasn't the smartest thing that they taught us, but you know what? We're all still here to talk about it, so couldn't have been that bad. All right, I'm going to now decorate my little basket here. I'm going to take that little scalloped pink, and this goes right across the top of your basket. It fits like a glove. These 2 little side pieces with the bumps, these little bumps go right in there. Just like so. This basket gets so like decorated. It looks like a real little Easter basket. We're going to put our bunny in the center. My little chocolate bunny is going to come to the side. So let's go ahead and put some glue down here on his feet because we're not going to see those. I'll put him, kind of crook him to the side like that. This little chocolate bunny, going to get some glue on him. So all you're doing is just taking your little pieces and just tucking them in. Just like that. Give that a good smush. My flowers are going to come over here. My carrot. It's going to get, I put too much glue on my rabbit. Dang it. Okay. Ta-da. Isn't that cute? Oh, I love how that turns out. Now, along the bottom down here, we're going to add a little bit of glue and we're just going to put our grass along the bottom. And then I just come and kind of flip out some of those high points. Kind of give it some depth and texture. And then this is going to go on my card base. Now this is going to get glued down. I'm just going to come in here and just tap some glue. And then add some to the little basket handle. Push that down. Okay, I'm going to take some mini dimensionals onto my little banner and my little pink bow here. My pink bow is going to get centered right there. Oh my goodness. The backing did not want to come off of that. And then this is just going to get placed all the way to the edge and right like that. There is our adorable. So see, we have it in the pink and the blue. Isn't that awesome? Oh, I'm going to pull these out. There we go. And then we're going to stamp an inside to this. I'm going to grab, because I cut the strips off of that, I have these strips of that same paper going on there that I can just run a strip across my white, and then I'm bringing that element into the inside of my card. Kind of just make everything tie together. Again, matchy matchy. I have my little chickadee here, my little baby chick. We're going to stamp our chickie right there. And then our Happy Easter is going to be in Pretty in Pink. But again, I need to clean that since I did use that on black. I'm going to grab Lemon Lolly and my light Lemon Lolly, again with my light Peach Pie. Peach Pie is going to be his little nose. And Lemon Lolly is going to color him in. Because if you've ever went and bought little chickies, you know that they're really little whitish yellow color. So Lemon Lolly is very light yellow. Ah, sorry, yikes. I'm going to stamp Happy Easter right there. Voila. And then we're going to take that and put that inside of our card. Right? Isn't that so cute? Ah, love it. Yes, economics class and boys had shop class, right? So there are both of our cards. If you have more of a feminine one and more of like a little boy one, I guess. Isn't that adorable? Oh, I think those just turned out so cute. Now this one is kind of a fun fold where it does that. I just don't like this. So I was like, eh. It worked, but no, I like it better like this. So you can see it like that. I think that's so cute. Cute little bunny. Okay, so that's card number 2. Card number 3 is our cross. Now this can be done with so many different papers. So again, this folds flat like this. So when you have an envelope, it'll slide right inside of your envelope and fit. If I push it down enough, that fits right inside of an envelope. So you can close it, put that in the mail. And then when your recipient gets it and they pull it out, it's going to go pow and it's going to pop just like that. We're going to have a little pop-up card. And then when they set it on their shelf, it's going to go like that, and then they're going to be able to see how cute that little cross is. So this is more of a religious kind of card, I guess you would say. I didn't necessarily make it that way because I put Easter's on its way, but anybody who's anybody knows that Easter represents, you know, that whole aspect of it. So we're just going to kind of make this card cater to that. Let's grab the pieces that I need. Okay, I'm going to set this up over here because I need space because we've got to do some scoring. And I need my measurements up here. So what we need to do is I have a thick basic white. Now this is 8.5 by 5.5. Now we need to come in here and we need to do some cutting to this. Just a very, very little cutting. So we need to take our 8.5 and cut it down to 8 3/8. So we're going to take this. There's 1/8, 2/8, 3/8. So we're just cutting off a very tiny, small portion, which is 1/8 of an inch. But it's extremely important that you take this 1/8 of an inch off of your card base, because otherwise your measurements will not be correct. Okay, so then now we're going to do some scoring at this, or on this. We're going to do 2 1/8. So I'm going to move my cutting blade because we don't want to accidentally cut our card. Okay, so there is 2 1/8. So we need to score 2 1/8. We need to move it over to 3.5. 4 7/8. So that's 2 notches before the 5. So 4 7/8, and then 6 1/4, just like that. So you've got, again, that is 2 1/8, 3.5, 4 7/8, and 6 1/4. So no matter which way you look at it, it's going to be the same. So now I'm going to get that out of the way. And we need to, on one side, we're going to go up, down. So that is that back springy portion, just like over here, this back springy portion. This is our center panel. So then over here, we want to push back and bring forward. So it gives us this like little bird. Whoop, 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 whoop. So now I'm going to take this and give this a good crease because I definitely want these to be a moving mechanism. And then there is that's our base. That's what we need that to be like. So that makes this part right here. Okay, so now we can set that aside because now we're going to decorate that. So I'll tell you what we need for the rest of this. Okay, that's going to be to decorate. This is what we need for our pieces here. So for my cross, my little cross section here, this white piece is going to be 1 3/8 by 4 1/8. Then my cross piece in Shy Shamrock is going to be 1 1/4 by 4. And then my designer piece is going to be 1 1/8 by 3 7/8. That's going to go on there. And then that will set like that. Okay. Now for our for our back panels, we have two back panels that are in the Shy Shamrock. These are 2 by 5 3/8. They're going to go just like that. Our 2 designer series paper panels are 1 7/8 by 5 1/4. Those are going to go there and there. Now I do have 2 of these. These are again Shy Shamrock. These are 1 1/4 by 5 3/8. They're going to go on my side panels, right like that. Now my sample over here, I didn't put anything in there, but this one I'm going to. And then our centerpiece is our center piece of Shy Shamrock is 1 1/4 by 5 3/8. And then my center designer series paper is 1 1/8 by 5 1/4. So we can go ahead and start doing that. So then this will sit right like that, and then that will go like that. So let's pull these pieces off and these pieces, and then I'm just going to lay this flat because that's what's going to work easier to glue everything together. So on these inside panels, if you wanted to, you could run those through an embossing folder. That would be kind of cute to give it just a little bit of texture. I don't think they're seen all that well, so I'm not going to do that. Good. I'm glad that you guys like these. Had a lot of fun coming up with these designs. And then once I make one, I'm like, huh, well, I need to make it in a different color now because now I need to see what it looks like in this color. And it doesn't always work. Like, I don't know if I'm liking these colors until I guess I see this be made. I did like the colors of this one and how it turned out, but I like trying different things and different variations of it because then you kind of have 2 ideas to go off of with that same paper. In case you have 2 people that you want to send cards to, this way you're not sending them both the same card. You're getting to see it look just a hair different from each other. Oh, yeah, that doesn't look bad. Okay, so now on here, I'm going to go ahead and put these on first. I will tell you that it feels to me the white thick base is a little bit sturdier than just your normal cardstock, but that's just saying that, just so you're aware. This one would last probably just as long, but the mechanism would probably wear out if somebody was folding it a lot or moving it. But for most people, they're just going to take this and they're just going to stand it up and they're going to look at it, not be playing with it a lot. Okay, there's that. Now we're going to do this little centerpiece. The funny thing is I really did not use this Shy Shamrock color that much at all over this last year until this fun Easter paper and when I did my lucky cards, my St. Patrick's Day cards for you guys. Okay, that's going to go there. I'm not hating it. I will tell you that much. I thought at first I wasn't going to like it, but seeing it like that, I really think that pops. Okay. So before I glue this on there, I am going to cut some pieces for this. I need my, I thought I had a piece of my Shy Shamrock sitting here, and I guess I didn't. So I'm going to pull a piece of Shy Shamrock. So let me find just a scrap because I didn't pull out a scrap for my grass. And I want to do some grass for this. So let me see. Oh, there's a perfect piece right there. Okay, so I'm going to cut the grass twice. So you're going to need a scrap of Shy Shamrock. So I'm going to cut this out twice. Okay, there's one. And then I will do it a second time. Okay, there's my grass. Then, so that's going to go along the bottom. I took a scrap piece of white and I took the label from, where is it? So the sweetness, filled with sweetness dies, I use the scallop right here. That's where I got that little scalloped oval. That's what's going to be my sentiment piece. I've been having fun playing with that filled with sweetness. So I love that little scallop. So that is going to get my sentiment. I'm going to use, now this is our in color glimmer paper. I have a small little piece of the peach pie. I need to cut the little tulips right here. Now these tulips are so much fun. I actually keep mix and matching them. They're really neat when you do it with this glimmer paper. So there's those two where I took the solid flower part. And then on here, I took the solid and did it on the bottom. And then the flower part I did in the glimmer. And I like that because you can see the little tick marks in the flowers. It actually matches those little tick marks in the oval as well. So it was almost like, ha, those match perfect. I love it. So I'm going to take my little bow again, and I think I might do the bow in, no, I'm going to keep the bow in the green. So let me do that really quick. Because that glimmer green is really pretty. That's that Shy Shamrock. There's that. Oops. Then I need the the pink and the peach pie. And I'm going to do the flowers through each one of those. And I'll show you what these flowers look like when you die cut them. It gives you two separate pieces to your flowers. So let me do the peach really quick. Now remember, these in colors are the ones that are retiring. These colors are retiring. Okay, so you might want to grab your stuff for this color combo if you like these papers and colors and stuff, because they're the ones that are going away, right? Oh no, are they? Hold on a second. Let me make sure. Am I telling you guys the right information? Yes. So Pretty in Pink, Peach Pie, Shy Shamrock, Summer Splash, and Petunia Pop are all retiring. So you've got a couple of months left to grab these up. Grab your ink refills, your Stampin' Blends, and some more of your cardstock to make sure all your stuff matches, because those are retiring. And we all know that when we have a in color retire, that means we're going to be getting new in colors. So, haha, so much fun. So since all I'm doing is replacing the flower part, so with these you have the petal and then you have the little flower that you would put on the top of that. I'm just replacing this part in the glimmer. So I'm just going to cut that one on there. So that's why I have a really tiny little scrap, because I don't need the full petals. I just need the flower head from that. So right there is the little flower head. That is going to get glued. Are these called tulips? Is that what they are? Okay. That just makes that pop. I love it. Okay, now I'm going to do it again on the pink. Okay, so I don't need those. And I don't need that. So that's where you can see that I came up with this, is I used the extra little part and then I just took my flower head from the solid and put it like that. So then you can kind of mix and match them and move them around how you like it. All right, so let's go ahead and glue our grass on. My son is super bummed. The starter went out in his car. And so he went to start it up the other day to go drive to the store. And his starter said nope. He comes in the house, he goes, Mom, there's something wrong with my car. I'm like, okay, well, don't freak out about it. Just wait for your dad to get home. He knows everything about the cars. So lo and behold, my husband gets home and he's like, yep, your starter is fried. But thank God the starter, because I think they already put a starter in it, so I don't know what's going on with it. That it has a warranty on it. So they're gonna take it off and send it in and get a new one. There we go, there's that. So Easter's on its way. I know that's not real, like, traditional, biblical wise. We could put, if you have another stamp set in your stash that says like Easter blessings, that would probably be more fitting for the occasion, but I don't, so we're gonna go with this. So let me get this piece adhered on here. And I'm not measuring, I'm just going down whatever, like an inch or so. But the important part is to make sure you line up both of your score lines over here to make sure this card will fold. So when it's down, it will fold like that and fit in your card base. Okay. Now let's take this and get this popped up on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my popper uppers and place these on the actual cross part here, so I make sure that nothing is going to be like sticky. If I was to put them on here and put this down, I don't want them sticking to the sides. I want it staying right in the center of this. So then, making sure everything's lined up, I'm going to take my bow and I'm going to glue my bow right in the center there. Then we're just going to take our flowers and then just adhere these right down, just to give a little bit of extra color. But it looks like those are coming up from the grass. And you'll figure it out which way it like fits better together. Like it can go either way, but sometimes it pushes a little bit too much on one side. So just kind of fiddle with it and see which side feels better together. Now what you could do is, if you wanted to, you could take more of your designer paper and put it on this side as well. I don't think it's necessary because nobody's really going to be looking at the back of it. If you want to write to somebody, you could do that on that back flap. Or just put a sticky note in there, you know, saying what you need to say on it. Tell them the way that it can sit and display. You guys know all the routine of letting your recipients know how to use the mechanisms on their card. So let's bring all three of these back in. So I'm going to show you the side by side of those just so you can see the two different colors. And do you like it with I mean, on the white, I think it needs to have these panels. But if you're going to use a colored cardstock, I don't think it's necessary because you already have the solid colors on the sides. But aren't those cool? Very neat. And you get a really cool little cross out of it as well. So let's bring in our three cards that we created tonight. And then hopefully you guys are inspired to go make some Easter cards. you're going to definitely want to get this set. I think that when I checked last, let me go check again just to make sure that, because I thought the dies are what are out of stock right now. So the Sweet Collection is not available. Let me tell you when they're going to come back in stock, because you're definitely going to want to buy the bundle. So for any of you guys that are new and that don't know, when you buy your dies and your stamps together as a bundle, you save 10%. If you buy them separately, you're going to pay more because you're paying the individual price for them. But as a bundle, you save. So make sure when you are ordering your dies and stamps, if they come in a bundled package, buy them that way so you're saving yourself 10% in price. So I would advise you, hold on, let me tell you when these are going to come in stock, when they're supposed to be coming back in the store. So the stamp set by itself is available. The paper is available. The embellishments are available. And I should probably put a couple of those little embellishments on there. Where are the dies? Da, 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 da. Well, did I pass them? I must have. Oh my Lord. Where the heck are they? Okay, maybe they're not getting the dies back in because they're not on here. I'm looking at my inventory status that I would normally have a date of when they would be returning back in the online store, but I'm not seeing those dies. Maybe one of you, because I know some of you guys are demonstrators, have you heard anything about them not bringing back the Easter basket dies? Because when I'm even looking on my online store, it doesn't even show me an option for the full Sweet Collection. And all it's showing me is the stamp set. So that is telling me that they're probably not bringing these back because I don't have them in my inventory report. Well, that's a bummer. Okay. So you could fussy cut them. This one you're stamping it straight down, so you don't necessarily have to have the dies. Really, the only things that I die cut were these little rabbits and the carrot, and then the flowers here. But you could fussy cut those and do those yourself. So it's not that big of a deal. But let's go ahead and add. I want to add a couple of these. If you can see these little embellishments, you've got them in lemon lolly, you've got them in balmy blue, and then you have these little pretty and pink eggs. They have like a little checker print on them. So let's add a couple little eggs to this because they're cute and they're pink and they match. And why not? I haven't used them yet. So we'll just kind of sprinkle them like so. Let's put another one over here by our little rabbit, our little chocolate bunny. There we go. Alrighty, there you guys go. I hope you enjoyed these. I had a lot of fun putting these together for you guys. I love to share, especially little interactive things like this and like the little cross. When I find something like that, it's something that I know I definitely have to share with you guys. So, do you have any questions about these? When you place an order in my online store between now and the 29th, Sunday the 29th, you are going to get the PDF on how to create these super fun cards. So, I hope you enjoy. Um, Try to stay warm out there. I know some of you guys have got some crazy cold weather. Um, Looking for, oh, and this is the other thing that I used, the 3-banner punch. I will have photos up on my blog tomorrow, pinkbarnstamper.com. So you guys can see an up close look at these. I'll try to get some pretty good angles of all this stuff so you can kind of see a little bit closer, because I know when you're up on camera like this, it's kind of hard to see. And I'll take this little guy out and take a picture of it sitting next to it. All right, you guys, have a fabulous week. Next couple of weeks I will be live again for Make It Monday, or for Make It Monday. I will be live on the 30th, but I'm going to be doing a kit class. So the kit that I have chosen, just to give you guys just a little what to look forward to, I am going to be doing the birthday fancy kit. I always need birthday cards. This one makes a ton of cards and it comes with everything in it. It is kind of like, if you haven't seen our kits yet, it's kind of like a paper pumpkin, but you don't have to wait for the monthly subscription. These, you can go to my online store and you can pick and choose what kits you want. Kits are what I sell most of. I always take these to any of my events that I do, and then people can see already right there. I already have them on hand. So these are a fabulous way to go. They already have, if they come with a stamp, they already have the stamps in it. It already has your Stampin' Spot color in it. And not all of the kits are to make cards, and not all of them have stamp sets in them. Some of them are already ready to go with your printed sentiments already in them. So, but this one does have a stamp set in it. It does make 12 cards and envelopes, matching envelopes. So this is going to be fun. We're going to put some birthday cards together. And I'm going to show you how these kits, what they all come with and all that good stuff. All right, you guys, have a fabulous week. I will see you guys for mystery stamping on the 18th. This Friday, me and hubby are going to be live for cocktails and cards, so you guys can see us together. Yee. And then after that, I will see you guys on Monday the 30th. Okay, you guys, take care. Bye-bye.